Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Round 8 of the National Rock Racing Association here at Hot Springs. At HawkPride, an off-road park in Tuscumbia, Alabama. We are ready to kick off day 2 of racing here, but before we do, we want to start things off right. So I'm going to send it down to Zach for the national anthem.
Take a knee. Just when the song's over, leave. We don't like or need you here.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Give it up! Oh my gosh, that makes me wish I could sing. I could carry a tune in a bucket. Great job. We've already had our drivers meeting. We did a bunch of prayers. Y'all don't forget to remember us. There's going to be some dangerous stuff going on today. We're going to tear up a lot of stuff and a whole lot more money. But it's going to be fun to watch. Going to be a little dusty. Maybe the wind will cooperate with us. Yeah, just pretend like it's not your money and it makes you feel better. I know that's what I do.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming back here, and we are so excited to be here. Before we kick everything off, we're going to do a quick prayer just for everybody here. Lord, thank you so much for letting us come out today and do something we love to do. We appreciate you. We're so thankful for that. Keep your hand upon us. Keep us safe. Let us have a wonderful time today, and let's go racing. Thank you, and amen.
Amen. All right, guys, that's how we start things off here at the National Rock Racing Association. Like I said, this is day 2. And we are going to kick things off with our UTV Bounty class today. And then we've got 5 classes racing today. Wow. So it's going to be a full day here. It's going to be some great racing. Let's go ahead and look at our point standings coming into this weekend for our UTV Bounty class. Casey Howell is leading in points with 510. He's got a 7-point lead over Nathaniel Bell, who's in that second place spot. And then we got Alston Tidwell in third, Madison King in fourth, and Ethan Hunt rounding out that 5th place spot for UTV Bounty today.
Yeah, it's going to be a UTV Bounty. It's always rough for those guys. We have some super huge rocks they're going to be hitting. We have a downhill area that's just beyond sketchy. They did a little bit of work to it from last year, so we have a little bit more run-up. They took the dozer and packed in a little bit more of a ramp. Clyde said after Pretty Place, we had so much carnage. He said he didn't want to make it too hard on anybody, so we have a little bit more run-up there, which, again, for the UTV guys, I guarantee are going to be so happy about. But Bounty Series guys definitely going to take a beating, but I'm excited to watch them. I think we're going to have a handful of guys definitely complete some courses.
I think so. We've got a great list of drivers today. And remember, our UTV Bounty class is racing the same course as the Big Bouncer. Wow. So this is our most challenging class that we can throw at our UTV guys. So always fun to watch. Like Matt said, it's going to be good times to watch what this list of drivers can do with the obstacles that we've got out there on course today. Let's head to the line and see who's kicking things off for us. It looks like we've got Austin Myers. Austin raced with us yesterday for the first time here with the NRRA.
So we have a handful of guys that race on Friday and Saturday. Some of them wait to enter on Saturday to see if the rig is still together at the end of Friday. So
yes, our bounty class is one that will often triple in size come Saturday morning when everyone's like, all right, everything's still together, after racing Cup or Stock yesterday, so let's go for it.
Yeah, I said, and crazy stories, I said, we saw Cody Kaysen yesterday literally change the transmission between Course 1 and Course 2. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, he wasn't able to get it done and come back and race Course 2. But
man, he was so close.
He was so close.
He gave it an awesome shot. It was a very ambitious undertaking.
Like, that dude was thrashing to get that thing done.
All right, so we've got Austin Myers on the line. I think we're just about ready to send him off. He's going to be our first driver. If you're just joining us here on Hillside Live, welcome. Welcome to our online audience with us on Rock Racing TV on YouTube, and to our television audience joining us on Power Sports World. You guys are watching Hillside Live. I'm Bree Molitor. Got my trusty co-host Matt Holt with me. We're here at HawkPride in Tuscumbia, Alabama, ready to get things rocking and rolling.
Yeah, these guys, this bounty class is definitely going to take a beating today. I'm very excited to see them, though. Again, get out there and get some dirt on the tires.
And no pressure for Austin. Not only is this only his second day of racing with us here at the NRRA, he is going to be starting things off for the UTV bounty class and showing everybody what the line is out here. Hope you guys were able to join us for some of yesterday's racing. We had our UTV stock and our UTV cup classes both do an awesome job with some exciting racing. If not, you can always go back and check that out at Rock Racing TV.
In this tight turn, we saw a lot of side-by-sides yesterday have trouble coming back around with that really tight turn. So we actually moved the finish line about 30, 40 feet to the left. So it should be a little bit easier for our bouncers today as they're finishing. Again, this rock wall here is just gnarly.
So we saw our UTVs coming down this obstacle, the Maverick, they call it, yesterday. Obviously today, we're ramping it up. They're going up the course. Oh, and it looks like...
Get back. There we go.
He landed it.
Again, I think you're going to see a few of the UTVs do that today. Definitely on the bigger ledges. But if they can land back on their tires with our rules, they can continue to go until they're out of time or receive assistance, maybe either broken or pulled off by Keith. So
we do have a 5-minute time limit today. It's it's a pretty normal time limit. You know, every once in a while, if we've got a course that's extra long, we might add a little to that time limit. But for the most part, 5 minutes is pretty typical for us.
Unfortunately, I hear on the radio they're saying he's broke. I'm not sure what he broke, but I think it's, Cody and Clay Kaysen out there? If those two guys can't fix it, oh, man.
I think it's Cooper and Cody. You know, one of the great things about this sport is our drivers that race on Fridays in our UTV classes, then they come back and they put on a recovery vest and they get out there and they assist with recoveries on Saturdays to help, all their fellow racers. So not only is everyone out here to be competitive, to win, to, go as fast as they can, do the best that they can, but they're also here to support their fellow racers. Yeah. And we have a lot of drivers that help out in that capacity of recovery or helping on the starting line, doing safety checks, all kinds of things here. So that is definitely one of the cool things about this sport.
And a lot of times around that course, again, talking about recovery, helping out, get you flip back over, pull off the course. Other times, if you're having problems with an obstacle and you're backing up, they'll tell you exactly where to back up to and then tell you exactly what line to hit.
Yeah, everybody wants to see their fellow racers doing the best that they can out here. So, they'll be out there spotting you on the course, swapping parts with you, offering tools, whatever. Let's check out that Amsoil action shot of Austin's rollover.
And again, just kind of let that front end come over a little bit, unfortunately. There's such big ledges. These don't look that big, but these are literally like 3 foot by 3 foot ledges these guys are hitting.
Well, it sounds like he should be able to be back for course 2 without too much trouble today. And we've got our first assist and we'll give the first shout out of the day to Keith.
Yeah.
Keith Shell. We call him Keith Toolman. He's a core member of our recovery crew here with the NRRA. We're grateful to him and to all of our staff and volunteers that help with recovery for helping us keep things moving along, keep things going smoothly and safely for all of our drivers. They're all quick on their feet to get there whenever someone needs some assistance, so we appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, Keith does an awesome job for us. He's very handy. It looks like we have a course clear here. Again, as Keith pulls out our first victim of the day.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
We've got Gary Nash sitting on the Raceline starting gate now.
At Neon Rig, he's running a bigger tire. It was awesome at Pretty Place to watch him. He was definitely getting with it. In that gauntlet yesterday was just, we saw a couple of side-by-sides break going into it, and it is very rough if you have parts that are dangling off, unfortunately.
Oh, and his front end quit pulling.
So
it looked like he was
close.
going to be able to just shoot straight up the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, he is gonna struggle in two-wheel drive on this course.
Yeah. Man. Dang it. That stinks.
Looks like he broke a drive shaft. I think Gary's going to be able to go ahead and do a little self-recovery and pull off the course here.
Dang it. Again, you hate to see that. You know, these guys work so hard getting these rigs come out and break, but okay, why Nash Racing gets off the course there. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this course layout. Again, you can see they're kind of heading through that same woods section that we saw the UTVs race through yesterday. And again, this is Bouncer 1 course. UTV 1 Bounty racing same course. Go through that same woods section, come down, go through the gauntlet. Then they are headed up like Maverick, kind of like Bree said, heading up Maverick, going out that concrete ledge at the top. And then we're dropping back down, which we did not do yesterday, coming back through that same little gauntlet and then finishing about the same place we did yesterday. So it's very, very similar to the courses we saw yesterday. Just a little bit more trying. It's a little more ledges. But very, very cool. Again, it'll be a lot of fun racing today. Course 2 is actually pretty similar to that, which we'll see later on this afternoon. It'll be, again, a lot of fun. Yes, very similar, but also much different. Definitely a lot more ledges, and it'll be the downhill, once we have a side-by-side climb this Maverick trail, we'll see the downhill is a little bit more sketchy. And again, words cannot put how sketchy it is.
Yeah, as always, you guys, if you haven't been able to make it to a race in person, you'll just have to take our word for it. But everything is steeper in person than it appears on camera. The ledges are taller.
Yes.
The hills are longer. It's all just more than it looks on your screen right now. So you're just going to have to take our word for it.
Yeah. More is a great word for that. Everything is just more. Yeah.
We've got Kyle Risley on the course now, driving Danger Zone, heading over to Maverick. I'm feeling some Top Gun vibes here.
Real.
Kyle also raced with us at Pretty Place a few weeks ago for our last event.
Again, which was some awesome courses, a lot of fun.
He was able to complete both of our bounty courses at Pretty Place, so hopefully he can have that same luck here.
Oh, no. Oh, dang it. I thought for sure he was going to tip back over on his wheels, but unfortunately not able to. Again, we talked about how those ledges are just more. So, unfortunately not able to.
He found the danger zone.
Yeah. Getting quick, our recovery crew out there. Getting him flipped back over. Again, it looked like at first he was going to try to upright it, but I think...
We have definitely seen some amazing recoveries, self-recoveries, either in a near tip over, a full tip over, and they're able to roll it back.
Yeah. Again, we got that AMSOIL action shot. Again, you can see kind of that same ledge we've seen guys have trouble on the side-by-sides. Just unfortunately, just a little top-heavy tipping over once you get sideways. And it shows how steep it is. Literally, once you kind of get sideways, it just tips over. But fortunately, not able to self-recover that. Shout out to our recovery crew getting over there and getting it flipped back over.
I mean, Matt, we see bouncers struggle on this obstacle. I mean, the fact that our UTVs are even going at it and racing up this today, that is just that's just an example of how challenging the bounty class is. Riley Pete is on the line and ready to give it his best shot. Another driver who joined us at Pretty Place for our last event.
Definitely a clean-looking chassis on this one. I like his wrap. His color scheme is pretty sweet.
Riley Pete actually had a second-place finish at Pretty Place just a few weeks ago, so hopefully he can bring some of that momentum into today's racing. Oh, he's coming in hot.
Oh!
And it worked.
There we go.
Nicely done. No hesitation. All right, Matt, I got to say it for the first time today.
Ooh.
Riley, it's all downhill from here.
And speaking of that downhill, it is just so sketchy launching off that thing.
He's already back through the Raceline ravine and through the finish line.
There we go. Going to be our first time of the day.
An 82.024 for Riley Pete. Nicely done. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the show. You're watching Hillside Live with Bree and Matt. We are not quite halfway through course one of our UTV Bounty class, our first class racing today here at HawkPride Off-Road Park. We're in Tuscumbia, Alabama. We want to welcome our online audience that's joining us on Rock Racing TV on YouTube and our television audience watching on Power Sports World. Hope you guys are getting to enjoy the racing action as much as we are today. If you missed yesterday, you can go back and watch that on Rock Racing TV. That was our UTV Stock and UTV Cup classes. Today, once we have completed course one for Bounty, We've got the bouncers. We've got limited bouncer. We have our UTV teen class and our UTV youth classes all running. And then, of course, we do it all again for course 2 for everybody. So we got a full day of racing ahead. Brady McCreath on the line now, and he is ready to send it.
I love running through that order and see how much racing we do. And then we're going to do all of that again.
Non-stop racing action. That's what it is out here. Brady raced with us in the stock class yesterday.
And we went over these dirt hills. These dirt hills are definitely no joke. We went over them yesterday. Some of them are definitely going to launch off in the bouncer.
Oh, a little bit of a rough bounce coming in there. Let's see if he can get resituated and find that line.
Again, there's several rocks that are about 24 inches tall, and they're offset. So if you notice how it kind of kicks them a little bit to the right, kicks a little to the left, you really have to be able to kind of bobble into that.
He's out the top and airing it out.
He is launching out there. Ooh. Coming back down through that gauntlet. Woo.
Well done, Brady. Let's check that time.
That's a 92.277 from Mr. Brady McCreath. Again, that 82 is what our fastest time has been so far.
Alston Tidwell on the line now.
All right, clock is hot. Making quick work through that gauntlet again.
Alston is coming into the weekend third in points so far in the season for the Bounty class with 380. He's got his work cut out for him, though, to try and catch up to our leaders.
Oh, he is right there. If he could back up just a few inches, I think he can clear that ledge. Man, I don't think he's going to be able to get enough momentum right there. He's going to have to back down.
Oh, getting a little sketchy.
Definitely put her up on two wheels there.
Oh. Well, that was a good save. I think what we've seen that was successful so far was coming into it with a lot of speed and momentum from the bottom, straight up the middle. But Alston has clawed his way to the top of this hill.
Literally clawed it out the top there. Again, there's several big ledges coming down here. Again, you can see Dearborn Drone Go giving us great drone footage. There are several very big ledges right here for the UTVs coming down.
There's a good camera view of kind of give you an idea of the steepness
of
the ledges that we're racing on today.
There we go.
Man, what a good feeling when you have to battle through a course and finally get across that finish line. With a 197.823 for Alston Tidwell.
Again, like I said, clawing literally his way out the top there.
Nathaniel Bell on the line now. Nathaniel currently sitting second in points for the season, and Bounty only 7 points behind Casey Howell.
Looks like about a handful of UTV Bounty drivers left.
And you know what? Casey wasn't able to make it this weekend.
Yeah.
He does have a stunt driver filling in for him, fortunately, to get those points today.
Now, so he had a stunt driver yesterday as well.
Yeah, he wasn't able to be here, so we'll see if Nathaniel is able to capitalize on that absence.
Again, Nathaniel is just Nathaniel Bell just out there. He has rocked this property or this Bounty class since he started. He loves it. He gets out there. He enjoys banging on it. He comes down the night before. He usually does a lot of playing, rolls wheels up into it, and just really, really enjoys it, has a lot of fun with it, and does a great job at it. You can tell he definitely feels comfortable in that rig. Looks like we got a clock is hot.
Let's see how Nathaniel handles Maverick. Oh,
man. Again, you can kind of see how those rocks are off center, kind of bobbles it a little bit, and then comes back down. But man. There we go.
Oh, wait. I think his front end quit pulling right at the top.
I saw the back end just spinning, so I don't think his front end's.
Oh,
man, dang it. Dang it.
Man, he was so close.
He was right there.
Well, maybe Casey doesn't have too much to worry about not being able to be here this weekend. Nathaniel did have a solid 123-point lead over third place. Alston Tidwell behind him. So, like we always like to point out, though, there's still a lot of racing to come. Even though we are on the downhill side of the season, we're on race number 8 out of 10. But we run 2 courses at all of our normal races, and then at finals, we double it, and we have 4 courses for all of our classes. So that means double the points on the line. And as we like to say, anything can happen between now and when that final driver crosses the finish line at finals. So.
And we've seen that before. Leaders change literally on the last day of racing.
Yep.
Leaderboards can change. So
one or two DNFs can make a huge difference when you're in the points chase. Jesse Phillips having a little trouble coming right off the line there, but it looks like he's moving all right now. Jesse is running for Casey Howell's points today.
We had a few stunt drivers yesterday. Trying to get through there. There we go. I got another one clawing his way out the top.
He found a line somewhere on that hill. Uh-oh, looks like he's come to us. Okay, he's moving again. I don't know what that was. Had a little pause at the top of the hill.
There we go. As Bree would say, it's all downhill from here. You know that feels good just to get a finish on this course.
Absolutely. Any bounty course.
That's a 1:20.924. Again, very, very excited to get a time here. Feels very good.
All right, we've got Ethan Hunt on the line. Ethan is running in Bruce Parker's spot. And Ethan is going to be our last driver for Course 1 of UTV Bounty. After this, it'll be time for the bouncers.
Heck yeah.
Then we've got our limited bouncer class and our UTV teen class.
Again, this has been an awesome day of racing so far. Again, this is our very first class that kicks off today, our UTV Bounty Series. After that, unlimited bouncers.
We've seen Ethan racing in a handful of classes with us over the last season or so. In both the bouncer class and the UTV Cup. Oh, no.
No, dang it.
As well as UTV Bounty.
Kenny.
Hey,
there we go.
Nicely done.
Put that back on all
made
fours. Yeah. Feels good. I guarantee you it feels so awesome to put that thing back on all fours to try it again.
That's one of those self-recoveries I was talking about earlier where, once in a while, the buggy just ends up in a way that makes it possible.
Yes.
And then sometimes it doesn't. And you got to know the difference.
It's true. And sometimes it doesn't.
Well, it looks like Ethan's going to go ahead and exit the course. Looks like something's broke. He's definitely having some trouble with that front right Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yep, I can see it now.
Yeah, I couldn't see that until I got turned around. It's definitely barely hanging on there.
All right, guys, that wraps up course 1 for our UTV Bounty class. I'm going to give you a real quick rundown.
Yeah,
we've got a top 4.
We didn't have a ton of finishers there, so not super hard. Again, these guys race the same course as the bouncer drivers, so we owe a lot of respect for these guys.
Yeah, well done to all of the Bounty class, but Riley Pete had the fastest time with that 82, followed by Brady McCreath with a 92. Then we had Jesse Phillips running for Casey Howell with that 120, Alston Tidwell with a 197, and then Nathaniel Bell, unfortunately, was a DNF.
Yeah, and again, we had a handful of DNFs there. Really unfortunate to see those guys not going to complete the course, but they're racing such a gnarly course in a UTV.
Yep.
So we took my dad's Honda up there and played with it last night, and I was like, he's like, I think we can make it. I'm like, yeah, this is way harder than you look. I mean, it's super gnarly.
I think we've all heard that before. I think I can make it.
I think I can make it.
That's how most racing careers probably get started.
It's true. It's true.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to take we've got an Amsoil action shot to share with you. Just heard that, so let's go ahead and check that out. This is Ethan Hunt. He had a rollover and then somehow managed to save it. Monster jamming out there on the course.
Yeah, for real. Getting the thing spun around, put it back on all fours. Again, I'm not sure exactly right there maybe where he broke that front passenger side tire. And the way it was leaning, I'm guessing that's a ball joint or something.
It looked okay up until until it didn't.
Yeah. He got turned around. I think it was like leaning real far over. So, again, not hard to do on some of the UTV guys. They make that stuff very lightweight so they can launch up the hill.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the downside of being lightweight is you break sometimes. So we've seen that a lot yesterday. There was a lot of crumpled up side-by-sides, getting hauled away, moved away, drug away. Keith was a very busy guy.
A lot of rocks out here.
Yeah, it was.
But it makes for some fun racing to watch. So we are going to be sending our bouncers off the line after we take a quick break. We're going to send a commercial to you guys, and then when we get back, we'll be ready to launch those bouncers off the line. So y'all don't go too far.
There is this extraordinarily unpredictable beauty to backcountry riding. And I think that's what I love so much about BDR is that they give you a ticket to experience that. In our own personal lives, I think that we're able to exact a certain degree of control over the outcome of our own destinies. But backcountry riding involves venturing into the unknown, and you have to relinquish this idea that you're in control of the natural world around you. Riding a BDR comes with perspective-altering experiences of extreme beauty and challenges along the way. For sunshine or for rain, riding one will likely be an experience that you will never forget. This year I rode the Idaho BDR, and during my time on that route, the weather seemed to be a humbling adversary. With lightning and rain in the south and smoke and fire in the north, it was a tough route to navigate. But behind each challenge was a life lesson and an accomplishment that I can carry with me for the rest of my life. After spending 14 days exploring the backcountry and living off of MREs and fighting off mosquitoes, I've since come home to my normal life. And I miss the unpredictable nature of my day-to-day experiences. I miss the wanderlust freedom that I got from being out there. And I'm already in the process of planning my next route. There's a whole world that begins where the pavement ends, and BDR has given us the maps to go and see it.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Round 8 of the National Rock Racing Association. This weekend is presented by Raceline Wheels, and we are at HawkPride Off-Road Park in Tuscumbia, Alabama, and we are ready to start sending some bouncers off the line in just a minute. You guys are watching Hillside Live. I'm Bree Molitor. I've got Matt Holtz with me today. Matt is going to be jumping out real soon so that he can go race because he's pretty high up the list today. So, Matt, just real fast, give us your thoughts on Course 1 and what we're looking at in the bouncer class today.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that Woods course yesterday. I think it's a fun, quick course, a lot of fun. Get comfortable in the buggy, come through, hit that gauntlet. Those big ledges, I think, are going to cause problems. We're going to see some guys hit them really fast and go nice and smooth. We're going to see some guys have a lot of trouble with it today. Downhill, I think everybody will come quickly. So, Course 1, I don't think it'll be super crazy. Just maybe a couple guys have a bobble. Some guys might break some stuff. But other than that, I think it's going to be pretty smooth.
All right. Well, I know we've got a driver on the line already. Matt, I'm sure you're anxious to get out there and get ready to roll. But before we do, let's take a quick look at our top 10 as we are coming into this weekend. In points, I believe that Wade Good is actually leading right now. So let me take a look here. I've got top 5 in front of us instead. That's what we're going to give you guys today. Wade Good is in the lead with only a 2-point lead ahead of Nick Reich. So Wade's got 619 points. Nick's got 617 now. And then Cooper Bentley in that 3rd place spot. Daniel Heckley in 4th, and Clint Garrison rounding out top 5. Those are how we're sitting in points coming into this weekend. As I said, we're on race 8 out of 10. So the season is winding down. We're on that downhill side of things. So it's anybody's game kind of at this point.
2 points. Wow.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
That is crazy.
Not much of a gap there. So I know we've also got Jay Stortz back out here today and the new bouncer. Some fun stuff that we're going to be watching.
Yeah.
So
his Fortitude buggy. I'm going to have to.
That's right.
Going to have to practice saying that a few times. Fortitude.
All right, Matt. Well, I know you're ready to go get buckled in and get ready to rock and roll off that starting line. So good luck. Have fun.
We'll see you guys
later. And we've got Connor Flynn starting things off for us today for Course 1. I've got Trip Pullen joining me up here in the booth as well, taking over for Matt while Matt goes to do some racing. How are things going, Trip?
It's good. It's a beautiful day out here. A little dusty, but it always could be worse. I mean, you talked about that last night. Should we want the heat or the mud?
What's worse, getting rained on or putting up with a little bit of dust and heat? We've had a great couple of classes racing so far. This is day 2 of racing here at HawkPride. So we had our 2 UTV classes yesterday, UTV Bounty this morning, and of course now it is time for the big bouncers, the unlimited bouncers. And I know that our crowd is anxious to see what Connor Flynn and Bullzilla is about to do.
The more seat time he gets in this buggy, the better he's done all year long.
Yeah, Connor's been having a great season, and like you said, that you can tell once that seat time and the race course experience starts to settle in, you can see that with those nice, smooth, fast runs consistently, coming across the line.
It's going to be interesting. He's the first one to see what line he takes.
It's never easy to be the first one. You don't have the benefit of having watched somebody else go and test out a line on the course. We call it choosing a line when the drivers, they walk the course ahead of time. They sometimes do some pre-running. They've got their course maps that they can study that everybody gets a few days before the race.
Right.
But then they've got to get out here and actually look at the hill and choose, where am I going to try and put my tires? Am I going to stay to the left of this rock, the right of this tree, go around this ledge? That's picking their line, and it looks like Connor is doing a good job of it right now.
Yes, he is. That one little hiccup there, but looks like he's got it up it.
Dropping off the ledge there.
That's a huge drop off.
Making his way back through the Raceline ravine. And he's through the finish line. With a 93.348.
Now the question is, how long will that stand?
That is the question.
Looks like.
Sure, that's what Connor's asking himself right now.
He's like, I've laid down a good time here. How long will it stand?
Well, we've got DC Thompson on the line. DC, who we're used to seeing in UTV.
Yes.
He's been, doing an awesome job running in the UTV classes for several seasons now. He had the chance to jump into this bouncer last year and just really had a lot of weird issues and didn't get to race it consistently for a full season yet. So
I think they've got most of the bugs worked out of it, though. They went last weekend in racing. I think DC had a good outing. So
this is a Ryan Boyd's buggy that was built by Reject Fab. This is 6 years old now, I think.
Yes.
So he did get to race a little bit last year, but was just having lots of random, kind of strange issues they were working through. And he's had a little bit of that this season too, but we're always glad to see DC out here. It's definitely fun seeing him behind the wheel of a bouncer after so many years watching him rocking in the UTV class.
He is known to be a wild man.
You know, we used to say about DC that he was a wreckers or checkers kind of guy. He was going to make it or
something
tear things up trying. I do feel like that he has kind of found a more of a sweet spot, a little, a little more consistency in his racing over the last couple years. But, we definitely still see some wild rides out of DC.
Yes. Him and his buddy Johnny, you never know with those two. They watch the UTVs go right up this same line. They're trying to make that same line work as the UTVs.
You know, we always tell people that are watching at home, if you've never been to a race in person, you just got to believe us when we tell you the ledges are taller, the hills are steeper, the climbs are longer, everything is just more here in person than it looks on your screen.
That's a 43-inch tire, It's belly button high, and it's just the rock. It's just going down in that rock.
Oh, and he just jumped right up it. That's the way to do it. Hey, when we call this rock bouncing trip,
that's where it comes from, right there.
That's where that name originated, folks. It's not rock crawling.
It is rock bouncing.
Rock bouncing.
And, look at that.
Rock hopping.
Yeah.
Jumping down that ledge.
I wonder if anybody's going to endo right there. What's the wagers on who's going over today there?
I think we're going to see it at some point. We've seen it in the past here on this same area.
That's a 154.398 for DC Thompson. Uh-oh, I smell something on the line down there, Bree.
I see Bacon coming onto the race line starting gate. Little Tim Bacon and Too Rowdy.
Looks like they've got that thing fixed up from the last race at Pretty Place.
Man, that was rough.
He had a pretty violent wreck there. But he said he was all right. I think it just did something to the front trailing arm. Other than that, I think the shock was still good. So kind of got lucky in that sense to not to have too much work to get ready for this race.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys missed that, you can go back and check out our race. It was our last event at Pretty Place in Tennessee and just a few weeks ago. And Tim Bacon came out the starting gate strong.
Come out hot.
Oh, man. And then just a real sudden stop, smash into a rock. I don't think anyone had even been paying attention to that rock up until that point. It hadn't been an issue for anybody. It
looked like the buggy
that was an
suspension just
afterthought.
Unloaded at the wrong time.
It was weird, unfortunate turn of events for Tim, but like you said, glad to see him got everything back together and back out here again.
yeah. That dust down there on that starting line's about daggum 2 foot of just straight powder dust. So a lot of these guys are taking off and not, you know what I mean, and not just trying to spin the tires to suck all that dust in off the starting line, because when they come back around, it's hard for them to see.
They're driving right through it.
It's a fine line of how to get off the starting line there.
You know, with this type of racing that we do, not only is it about your vehicle, the technical aspect, but you're also battling the terrain, and it varies from every park that we go to, and every course is different. We never run the same course twice, the same exact course. And so, like you said, you might be dealing with the dust one day. If it had rained here, that would be a foot of mud down there that we'd be dealing with instead. So it changes your approach to the course. And these drivers, got to be on their toes. And a lot of that comes with the seat time and the experience of being around it. And some of it, you just got to go for it and see what happens. You can't control all of that, but. And that's where walking the course ahead of time comes into play too. Maybe doing some pre-running. It's looking like something's broke, though, for Tim Bacon right now.
Oh, they're grabbing the drive shaft.
Oh, no.
That is,
Man, we hate to see that.
And we talked about that violent wreck he had the week before.
Yeah.
He went in, and you get back in the shop, and you're going over your buggy, and you're thinking, I've got it all fixed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You put it back together, it looked fine. And you go out the next time. You don't have that. They don't have time to go out and test again. So this is probably the first time the buggy's been.
Yep.
And that's a hard break.
Could have been something fractured. Welds, cracks, stuff happens when there's a lot of impact, and it, like you said, it doesn't become apparent until next time there's some impact.
That's a tough break for little Tim. Look at this crowd. They're steadily piling in today. The parking lot this morning, there was a long line getting in here. And I love seeing the big crowds and everybody smiling and having fun out there.
Yeah, they just keep coming, too. We've got a great crowd of spectators lined up over here on the side. And like you said, the big line at the park this morning, and they just keep coming down the hill. I'm watching them filter in here.
They're like ants coming in. They find them a little spot and pull in.
Yep.
Can I park?
Found a little something good down here. They're piling in now. All right, guys. While they work on getting Tim recovered off the hill, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back for more Bouncer Racing action.
Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
All right, guys. They are still working on recovery right now. We also had our starting gate go down. We're working on getting that back up. The dust is hard on everything, yeah. But we do have Matt Holt getting lined up, squared away. I think we're just about ready to send him. So far, we've had Connor Flynn across the finish line with a 93 and DC Thompson with a 154. And then we just saw that DNF from Tim Bacon breaking that drive shaft. So, man,
that's probably something I probably can't get fixed before round 2 either.
I don't know. We saw Cody Kaysen trying to replace a transmission in between courses yesterday, and he almost had it.
I'm talking about like within 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt's on the line. Got those Raceline wheels looking good over there.
Matt Holt, there he goes with a hyperactive buggy. Matt has the High Society Off-Road Shop.
Let's hope he can find this right line over here on this hill and get that buggy up it.
Matt comes out of Decatur, Illinois to race with us. And, of course, not only is he here racing, but usually you guys are hearing his voice up here.
Oh, yeah.
In the booth as well, co-hosting with me. Matt is such a fan of the sport overall. He just loves to be involved with all the aspects of it, from the media side to the racing itself, and just being here with everybody. He's such a fan and so enthusiastic. That's one of the great things about Matt.
He's having trouble the same spot Bubba had trouble. I don't know if some rocks have got kicked out of that one spot, after 2 or 3 of them went, but
could be.
That's going to be an issue there.
We also had the UTV Bounty class already on this course this morning too, so definitely. Oh no, we just heard that he's broke a front axle. Oh man,
that's a tough break. He's going to need to go to Patriot Fab and get him some work done, I think.
Well, we hate seeing that for Matt.
I know. Uh-oh.
I wanted to watch him bounce on up that hill.
I was sure hoping he could make it out the top. Oh, yeah. The Sunfire built buggy.
Kenneth Cozine on the line in that new bouncer.
Listen, he's got a new set of wheels and tires too. He's done switched over. His buddy Wade's done got him some of those Journey tires.
Ah, all right. Let's see how they work for him today.
Yeah.
Kenneth comes out of Sparta, Kentucky to race with us. This is new bouncer. This is what, third or fourth time out.
Woo, he's coming in hot.
He's getting after it.
Oh, yeah.
It is a tight turn dropping down into the Raceline ravine here, especially for the bouncers. So this is a Sunfire off-road build he calls Double Down. Yep. He's going to have to double down on Maverick here if he's going to make it.
That's probably a pretty intimidating hill to come to, you know what I mean? Come around the corner and know that
Definitely.
Know it's fixing to be violent.
Oh, all right. Come on back around and get lined up again, Kenneth.
Oh, yeah, he's fixing to get it lined back up here, Bree. Oh, he's taking a little different approach here.
It worked.
Yeah.
He tried that far left side, showing us what rock bouncing's all about.
It's like we talked about several times already. It's just about getting those tires to the right bounce to get it to get over that obstacle.
Been there, done that, Trip.
Oh, my gosh.
It can be real frustrating and real exhilarating when you finally find the line, get those tires hooked up.
Yep. He is flying.
I think Kenneth's probably feeling pretty good right now.
when you get a finish on a hill like that, it always feels good, you know.
1:24.426 for Kenneth Cozine. It's a second place time right now. Connor Flynn is in the lead with a 93. We're only about a quarter of the way through course 1 for our bouncer class, though, so we got a lot of drivers still to go. Looks like Clint Garrison sitting on the line now.
Oh, Liberty buggy.
Clint is 5th in points coming into the weekend, so he's having a good, solid season so far.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him. He said he's right where he wants to be. He's not pushed too hard. He's not had no problems really this year. Just keeping the buggy right there and not having to do a lot of maintenance on it and get it ready for the next race.
Yeah, and I think that sums up his kind of racing style. You know, we note a lot on him that he's just a very consistent driver. He has good, smooth, fast passes, but without really getting on that ragged edge.
He's not a big risk taker.
Yeah,
you know,
not getting crazy out there, but it works for him because I mean he's 5th place overall right now on race number 8. So
we've still got a lot of racing here.
That's right. We've got 2 courses today, 2 courses at our next event at Rush Springs Ranch in Missouri, and then 4 courses at finals at Wildcat in October. So a lot of points on the line still, a lot of racing still to be done for the season.
Lots of racing to be done. It's a
nice.
Oh yeah. That's a huge rock they pushed up to make that turn up at the top of that hill. This ditch here has got a lot of sharp rocks, too. I'll be surprised we don't see a tire here today.
We saw a lot of tire carnage yesterday.
Yeah. Well, looks like Matt's back here.
89.305, that is your new leader on course 1. Well done, Clint Garrison.
Well, look, Matt's back. I'm going to let Matt get back up here. I know he's excited, so we'll see y'all after a while.
All right, thanks, Trip. All right, welcome back to the booth, Matt.
What is up?
Sorry for that luck out. Was it an axle?
I'm assuming.
Axle you broke? That's what we heard over the radio.
What did Bubba break? Did Little Tim break an axle too?
Drive shaft.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I was sitting there waiting, and about that time I saw the front wheel stop moving. So.
All right, we've got Clay Kaysen out on the course now. Clay is running in Ethan Hunt's spot, and this is only the, I believe, 3rd time that we've seen Clay in a bouncer. Clay's been dominating the UTV Cup class for a couple of seasons now, but jumped into the bouncer just a few races ago and has been doing an awesome job with it.
And he is, just like you said, just an incredible beast in this thing. He was one of 5 to complete course 1 a few races ago, which was, again, very impressive. I think that was the first time he had hopped in the bouncer.
Yeah.
So being one of only 5 drivers to complete course 1 is just insane.
He's already 2/3 of the way through this course right now. The time to beat is an 89, and I think that Clay is on target.
He is flying through there right now.
Beat that.
Ooh,
that's all right.
Yeah,
that's what Haas devices are for.
Woo! See what that time's going to be?
That was fast. Ooh.
That's a 72.739. Bree, is that our new leader?
That is definitely our new leader here on course 1. Well done, Clay Kaysen.
Yeah, he had just a super smooth run. Had the perfect line heading up that first rock hill. Yeah, I was right behind, kind of staging right behind Little Tim, and it looked like I saw his front driver's side tire stop moving, and I was like, oh, man. So I knew I had time to head over there, and our Raceline starting gate, Raceline being the presenting sponsor this weekend, Raceline starting gate had started to deflate, so I kind of paused and waited for the...
Yeah, the poor generator over there is struggling a little bit.
We have all right, we have a top 5 here. There we go. Again, Ethan Hunt's in that winner spot, which again is Clay Kaysen just had a smoking run. Clint Garrison coming in second. Connor Flynn sitting in third. Kenneth Cozine sitting in fourth. Again, also had a very smooth run.
Yeah.
And then D.C. Thompson sitting in that top 5. Ooh, we got Nick Reich sitting in that Raceline.
Nick Reich is on the line. I know we've got some people that are anxiously waiting to see this run in Fordzilla.
Again, him sitting 2 points right now behind Wade for the championship. So both of those guys are definitely going to be battling it out today. I know Nick has a huge Wisconsin following. Again, he has been just a dominating beast so far this season.
Here we go. So the time to beat right now is a 72 from Clay Kaysen, which was a really fast run. I'm not sure exactly where Nick is going to make up time on the course because Clay didn't leave a whole lot out there.
No. Again, Nick was coming into this turn down here for the gauntlet, literally with 2 wheels off the ground. Nick just powering through that Maverick Hill. Again, right here, that nice concrete ledge is a lot of fun to play on, but you definitely do not want to hit it too fast and launch out the top. Woo! Almost overshooting that. Woo! He is flying through there. Whipping around that rear steer.
Come on, Nick!
It's going to be a quick time.
What? 72.549. That is your new leader by 0.2 of a second.
0.2. That is crazy. Clyde was reading it on the radio, and I'm literally watching Bree write it down, and it's like the exact same number almost as the one before it.
Oh, my goodness. So Clay Kaysen just had a 72.739. Now we've got Nick Reich running a 72.549.
Just incredible. Now, again, the question is, for our viewers at home, are we going to get a faster time than that? I know we have a handful of guys that are definitely going to try to, but do you think we're going to squeak faster than that? I do not know.
I think Clay and Nick both just left it all out on the course.
I do too.
There were no obvious places where they had any bobbles or where they could make up a little time, you know. So that is an excellent question.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can.
Ethan Jones is going to give it his best shot now in Wicked.
That buggy is wicked. I mean, that thing is an absolute monster truck. And he does a great job. He's been getting a lot more comfortable this season with it, dialing it in.
You know, one of the things that Tripp and I talked about was the dust factor and how when drivers are coming off the line, then they're making that loop through the woods and having to come back and drive through their dust cloud. They're, maybe trying not to spin tires more than completely necessary.
Yeah, it was a big, you could see it coming off when Little Tim went through it ahead of me, so I was kind of not trying to smoke too much through there.
Oh!
Dang it.
Wait, he can save it.
Oh!
Nice.
Back on all fours. You're like, but wait, there's more.
Exactly.
I've seen a few drivers do that multiple times in a run. Be like, but wait, there's more.
He's trying that far left line. It worked for Kenneth Cozine. Ooh, he's in a little bit of a tough spot now. And he made it. Nice. Way to stay with it, Ethan.
Yeah, again, just kind of, like you said, crawling and clawing his way to the top there makes a big difference. Again, I didn't think we would see this much trouble today on this course. I knew we have a little bit of kind of bobbling back and forth, but I think the rocks are offset just enough it kind of tosses you right to left, not really letting you get good momentum. Because the guys that we've seen have to really have trouble with it, just kind of, like you said, just literally claw their way out the top. Ooh! He's got a front right flat. But definitely getting the finish out of it.
We've definitely seen a lot of tire carnage out here at HawkPride.
That's a 164.885. All right, we got an Amsoil action shot. And came in, had a good line. Again, kind of kicked that rear end around just a little bit. Unfortunately, kind of teetering over, but was able to put it back on all fours, so that's awesome. Nice smooth run. Again, able to get it done there.
All right, we are halfway through course one for the Mickey Thompson Bouncer Cup. I see Ben Driscoll on the line now. Speaking of Ben Driscoll, Ben's going to be taking home at least one trophy today, and that is going to be the Skinny Pedal Award for his 2 wild runs at our last event at Pretty Place in Tennessee. Matt, tell us why Ben earned that Skinny Pedal Award.
Ben had a wild run on the first course, led into that top spot. We don't typically give awards for just a guy who's fast, but he came down to the top of had the fastest downhill section possible. Unfortunately, tagged the rock, bent the entire axle housing, just mutilated the front steering. Still had rear steer, so course through. We assumed he was going to go up and try it. Ended up using rear steer to finish the entire second course.
So they ratchet strapped the front axle and housing together, and he, rear steered his way around the entire second course. So he's going to be taking home that Skinny Pedal Award today. And he just walked right up.
Yeah.
Maverick, making it look easy.
Again, taking his time, being very clear about that downhill section. And has a nice, smooth run going.
Yeah, Ben's got a great run going. He might be on par for like a third-place time right now.
You can see a nice corner groove getting woven in there.
Let's see what he got. .757, and that is a third-place time right now on course one for the bouncer class. So Nick Reich with a 72.5 in the lead, followed very closely by Clay Kaysen with a 72.7. And now we've got Ben Driscoll with that 80.7. I see Daniel Heckley on the line now in Hell Bent. We've seen Daniel do some pretty wild things at this park before on this obstacle over here, Maverick, so we'll see how he handles it this year. Daniel is coming into the weekend 4th in points for the bouncer class. Not a bad place to be at this point in the season. He had a 3rd place finish at our last event at Pretty Place.
This buggy just handles so well.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. That
was
not good.
Violent hit off of that rock.
Yeah, that motor does not sound happy. Uh-oh.
All right, we've got recovery on the scene. We do want to make note for you guys that we utilize remote ignition interrupter boxes for safety out here, so we were able to shut down the buggy. We've got recovery over there assisting Daniel, and we'll get him checked out and make sure everything is all right. That was a hard hit off of those rocks and a really wild bounce up the course for Daniel.
Got a recovery crew over there with him. Keith will get the rig pulled off.
So all of our bouncers are required to run an RII box, and that means that we've got a recovery staff with the remote control to remotely turn off an ignition in the case of a stuck throttle, or if a driver gets knocked out or is pointed the wrong direction and going somewhere we don't want them to go. We can remotely shut off the engine. So we were able to utilize that now and make sure everybody stayed safe over there.
And again, one of the clear things we talked about, Ben Driscoll had coming down, had that throttle stick tag that rock. That's one of the reasons.
At Pretty Place, not today.
Again, several things that can go wrong. That it's very good. Again, that coming from the monster truck community, a long time they've had that, and it works out really handy.
Yeah, Monster Jam utilizes that for all their
such big
events.
tires, such big tires, such big motors. They can really climb over everything. So it's very neat to see that. And again, we appreciate all the safety that goes in by all the tech people behind the scenes, and we're very thankful for that. So
yeah, and I just heard the crowd giving Daniel a hand. I think he's getting out of the buggy, getting some assistance over there. We'll try and bring you guys an update if we find out more. I know everybody always likes to make sure everyone's okay, as do we.
Yeah.
So this is an extreme sport, and crazy stuff can happen. That's why we have a lot of safety requirements. Our drivers are required to wear full-face helmets, Hans devices, which is neck protection, fire suits, 5-point harness systems. We have fire suppression systems in the buggies, as well as fire extinguishers that are mounted. We have interior and exterior. They either have to have a window net or a wrist restraint so that your arm can't leave the vehicle. And then, of course, we've got all of our recovery on scene at various points staged throughout the course with, whatever they need, fire extinguishers and such to assist. So we take it very seriously. The sport has grown a lot over the last few years. And both the things that we can do with the bouncers and the technology side of things, the courses that we run, and, you know, the challenging, or how challenging they are, how extreme they are, and then also with the safety, which of course needed to progress in order to keep up with the sport. So, and then adding those RII boxes, which we've used for many years now. I don't ever like to have to see them being used, but, you know, when you got to use it, you're grateful that you have it. So this was one of those times for sure.
Yeah, that safety stuff is all an SFI rated, which is rated for racing. It's a fire safety rating. It's designed to do exactly what we're doing with it. Again, NASCAR, Formula One, Ultra 4. There's lots of different series that are all kind of adapting those same rules, and that's one thing great about, you know, the invention of the internet. Everybody's kind of talking now and kind of looking at rules and going, oh, we like that, or oh, we like that. So again, you're seeing a lot more safety organizations kind of across the board adopt those SFI rules, and again, that's stuff that's specifically designed for safety in racing, for more, maybe not the little more extreme than you're going to see in your everyday driver Honda you're driving down the road. So, but very, very cool. And again, while you get him recovered, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after these messages.
In the midst of the 1920s, a group of passionate motorcyclists came together. They had a vision to advocate for and promote motorcycling, all the while organizing the sport. By 1924, the AMA was born, becoming a revolutionary force for the love of riding. From the rumble of early classics echoing across the board track to the slick speed demons of today, the AMA has been the heartbeat of motorcycling since its founding in 1924. Little did they know, their shared vision and decades of combined effort would change the landscape of motorcycle riding forever. Over the last century, we've witnessed the evolution of the motorcycle industry. Over years of intense competition, we've watched as the rugged, air-cooled pioneers have slowly been replaced by highly engineered, fine-tuned machines. Machines that were built for a variety of purposes, some for speed, others for exploration, but all for the pursuit of freedom. And in the background, the AMA has been there, at every step, embracing and championing the evolution of our beloved rides. But with the AMA, we're more than just chrome and horsepower. We share the same passions as you, and we will never stop advocating for your freedoms on the open road. Whether we're fighting for the expansion of your riding areas, or fighting for your rights to wrench on your motorcycles, and so much more, we will continue to be your voice behind the scenes, and keep fighting the legal battles needed so that you can keep doing what you love. And that is our promise to the motorcycle community. Because after all, it's never really been about us. It's been about you. We owe it all to our charter clubs and our members, whose grassroots and charitable efforts continue the AMA's mission. As we fast forward 100 years of motorcycle history, there's one thing that stands out the most. The vibrant, diverse, and passionate motorcycle community that's developed around the sport. The American Motorcyclist Association is so much more than just an organization. It's a family of riders connected by the exhilaration of two wheels and the places that they'll take us. As we celebrate our 100th anniversary, we're not just reflecting on the past, we're shaping the future. Youth programs ignite the spark, and the stories of AMA members and AMA Hall of Famers, the custodians of our legacy, continue to inspire the future generations. Here's to a century of endless rides, to the freedom felt in every twist of the handlebar, and to the community that defines us. Happy 100th anniversary, AMA, where the journey is just as thrilling as the destination. The road ahead is as infinite as our passion. Ride on, because together, we are AMA Century Strong.
There's only one tire brand that can call itself legendary. Rebirthed from the depths of Baja and representing decades of racing heritage, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. This dominating tire is purpose-built for thrill seekers everywhere. The new Baja Legend MTZ. It's time to get what you really want in a tire. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound for enhanced wet performance. PowerPly 3-ply construction for sidewall protection and responsive handling. Improved 4-pitch side biters for bold looks and off-road grip. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. Gear up and roll with the American mud terrain legend, the Baja Legend MTZ.
These UTV guys have been pushing the limits for years, and we are keeping up with them, providing them the strongest axle on the planet. Our UTV line uses all 300M components, high-temp synthetic moly grease, to handle the abuse of these short courses or long desert races, whatever these guys are doing. They've been pushing the limits, and we've been keeping up. So the years of development for the Pro Series line with our 300M, we have learned so much. We've taken that technology and we've taken the things out of it that make it, absolutely the strongest, and made it the strongest in class for trail use. And we've come out with a Trail Series axle. And that axle is going to be 4340 chromoly steel, all US made, and it is going to be the best in class for your trail. So you don't necessarily have to get the Pro Series. If you're not out here racing, if you don't have 300 horsepower hill killing with these guys, you can get a Trail Series RCV axle and go out and cruise with your buddies with peace of mind that you're not going to break. So for everything UTV, visit us at rcvperformance.com. And for Trail Series, find us at trailseriesaxle.com.
How often should you rotate your tires if you're running a square tire setup? Now, that is definitely a loaded question. There's so many different variables, from the machine to the terrain to how much air pressure you're running to the tire that you're running. Is your tire a radial? Is it a bias ply tire? There's a lot of variables that come into this. And I can only tell you what we do. And I can tell you I can give you some examples of some of the machines that we have here right now and how often we rotate the tires on our machines. For example, let's just talk about our 2025 R-Max 4 and the tires that we have on this. Now, this is a square tire setup. And we are running the Carnivores on here, and these are a 30-10-14. This tire is not a real hard compound tire. And that's another thing that comes into play, is how hard is the compound on your tire. If you're comparing this tire to a Sedona Ridge Saw, number one, it's not even going to be the same or close to that comparison, because your tread pattern is pretty far apart compared to a Sedona Ridge Saw. Now, how far apart your lugs are, how tall the lugs are, has a lot to do with it as well. And once you get to a point, if you see this front tire cupping, now what that's going to mean is, like, this lug is lower than this lug. This one here is real high, this one's real low, and it's going to be alternating like that. Your machine's going to start riding rough if the front tires are cupping. And then if you see your rear tires wearing down, if you see that tread starting to drop a little bit more than the front tire, but unfortunately by then the damage is kind of already done. You've already ran them too far. You're a little behind on your rotation. Now let's look at our Yamaha X2 1000 here. You can see the front tires. They're okay. Nothing wonderful. And what actually happened is we missed a tire rotation on our last oil change. And you can see this one here, like that's smooth right there. So this tire, that's going. That's definitely too late. So the tire rotation on this, if we had done it right at the right time and correctly, your lugs would be about the same as what they were on the front. But we missed that window of opportunity. So now these tires on the back are definitely too low. Let's take a look out here at a couple things that we have. And something that it kind of sucks is the Defender Limited. Let's talk about the Defender Limited. 2025 Defender Limited right here. Let's talk about these tires right here. Now, Can-Am, talk to me. This is a 30 by 9 by 14 on the front. And this is a Track Force XPS. It's a radial tire, but really resembles the Carnivore. So then we look back here at this back tire. 30, 10, 14. Okay, Can-Am, you gotta help me out here. Either take an inch away or give me an inch in the front, because technically this is not a square tire setup by 1 inch, which sucks. Now, we do rotate these tires front to back, even though it's not a perfect square tire setup, because we want to get maximum amount of wear out of our tires. Honestly, you aren't going to notice a difference if it's off just a little bit to rotate them. Now, what you can't do, and let's look over here, the Commander Max XT, we can't. 28, 9, 14. Ooh, what do we got here? What's this guy doing? Oh, yeah. Get some, baby. Get some. That's what I'm talking about. America. So anyhow, back to our Commander. So if we look back here, this tire here is a 28, 11, 14. So we have a 28, 9 and a 28, 11. Now what that means is on the front here, this is a 28, 9. So the first number is your height, second number is your width, and the third number is your wheel size. So this is a 14-inch wheel, and it is 9 inches wide. Now, if you look at the rear, that's 11 inches wide. Definitely not even close to a square tire setup, and you can't change these. These you're going to run, and you're basically going to run them until they die. And that's the only option that you really have with this, unless you were to change the front or the rear and make them matching. That's the only option you have with this. And then also over here, we're in the same pickle with the Defender Max, the HD10 here. Same thing in the front. We've got a small tire, 9 in the front, and then 27, 11, 14, 11 in the rear. So there again, like, not possible to be rotated, not even close to a square tire setup. So what we do is we put about 1,000 miles on our unit a month. So about once a month, we rotate the tires. If it's every other month, just because it might be winter, we might not be running the machines as hard, we might rotate them every other month. Now, I do know some guys that will rotate them at oil changes because they just don't drive that much. They just don't use them that much. Now, if you're running on hard pack, if you're running on roads, even dirt roads, you're going to wear your tires down a little bit faster than as if you were out on a trail. You're going to be able to tell where you're riding and what it's doing to your tires. And it also is going to depend on how much of a load your machine is carrying. There's some people that use these things for overlanding and they have a lot of gear in them, so they're heavier. That's going to weigh on your tires as well. And really, like I said, man, it depends on where you're at and what kind of...
All right, we're back finally. We got Daniel and his rig both off the course. The excavator had to come over, got it off the course. I think he also had a flat tire. Like he had, and it didn't really look that bad. I think he had just a bad bobble. And I think he hit the bottom. He was actually trying to recover it because they said he hit the gas at the bottom. I think he was trying to recover it. So unfortunately had a bummer run. I think we'll see him back later today, but they were pulling it off. So, again, he might have a drive shaft or something we don't know about, so we'll see that. But now that we're back, we have some more rock bouncing action. We're only like halfway through course 1. So we got Brandon Davis sitting in that race line starting to get with that new Ultra 4 car of his. Again, he was kind of curious how this was going to go for him today, being racing a little different style of a vehicle. He was a little worried about this first course, so again, very cool to see him out racing his. Again, we're used to seeing him in a TC chassis.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to reconcile that it's not Brandon when Menace isn't out there.
Yeah. I think this thing could go really fast. Except for the big, big hills, I think Brandon could push this thing about as hard as he wants, and it would be no problem.
So our top 3 right now is Nick Reich with a 72.5.
Oh. No.
Oh, he's does it,
no.
Brandon. Wait.
There we go. Back on his wheels.
Not done yet. Then we've got Clay Kaysen with a 72.7. Ben Driscoll with an 80. Brandon Davis now just trying to get up this hill and get across the finish line.
There we go. Oh, so close. And he has a nice smooth line right there.
He's trying a more conservative route for sure and doing a little bit more climbing than just pure bouncing to the top. Obviously, we just saw Daniel Heckley take a real hard hit off the rocks. He came in hot. It flung him to the side, and we obviously had to do some recovery there. We've got word that Daniel is okay. But, that was a rough one for sure for him. And it looks like Brandon might be either calling it quits or just trying to get back and get squared up again.
Yeah. Looks like, again, after watching Daniel's run, I think he's probably like, it's okay.
All right, let's check out his AMSOIL action shot.
Again, just rolling over. Luckily, these are a pretty round vehicle, so it was able to put it back on all fours. And again, this Ultra 4 car is used to doing rocks. Again, King of Hammers has lots of rocks in it, but it's more of a go-fast type car. And it had a smooth line. It just unfortunately was not quite able to pull out the top there. Got Dustin Medley sitting on that race line starting gate. That Gold Rush Reclaim buggy. I got to talk to Dustin a little bit, and he said, I've always wanted more power until I drove this. And I was like, that's enough. That's enough. He said it's the first time I've ever been like, okay, maybe too much. Maybe, let's back it off a little. He said this thing is just insane. Getting lined up there. Ooh!
Wow! Unleashing on this hill.
Yeah, it looks like he took a far left line versus the center, which we've seen a lot of guys try. So,
with a super donkey kick, but it was well timed.
It was.
And it worked for him. It's good to see Dustin Medley back out here racing with us this season.
Wow.
Man. He raced with us about 10 years ago and then came back around this season in Gold Rush. He's been doing an awesome job. He also races in our UTV Cup class as well.
He's literally hopping through there. That's 76.951. Again, a great time.
That's a third-place time right now.
Such a wild ride there. Again, that thing was bucking and kicking all over the place, but able to keep it going in forward momentum, so doing well. Again, I know we have a handful of guys that are definitely going to try to squeak in under Nick Reich in that 72-second time, but again, Nick doing an awesome job out here this weekend. Going to try to hang on to that. Breeze fanning the dust. That buggy creates a little bit of dust. And again, we're used to saying Jay Stort's with the Ford Play buggy. He did sell this at the beginning of the year. Josh Krupinski is now running it, but we will see Jay in his new buggy, the Fortitude, here coming up soon.
Josh is another one of our drivers that we got accustomed to seeing in the UTV classes, racing several seasons in our UTV Cup and Bounty classes and doing an awesome job, and then moved up to the Bouncers this season. So Josh has seen some wild runs on this course already today.
Again,
some breakage, some rollovers. Curious to see what his approach is going to be to the hill.
Again, ever since Josh bought this buggy from Jay, he's becoming more and more comfortable. So I think we're going to see him do pretty well.
He is smoking a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he's up the top of the hill. Again,
zigzagging across the hill, but it worked for him.
He was.
Doing a little mosquito control for us, too.
Oh, no, we're hearing he got a flag up top.
Well, the good news is he's not smoking anymore.
Yeah.
The bad news is he's got that flag penalty now.
And again, there's a few hundred things that could make this buggy smoke, so. Nice smooth run going. Again, like you said, kind of zigzagging to the top of that hill, but oh, yeah. You know he has to be happy.
Yeah, nicely done. .590 for Josh Krupinski. Oh, speaking of Jay Storts and Fortitude, here he is on the line. This is Jay's brand new bouncer. Talked with him a little bit last night. We all out to dinner with a handful of folks, and I asked him if he gotten to drive it very much yet, and he said, yeah, he's gotten a decent amount of some seat time in it. And I said, what's his favorite thing about it? And he's kind of thinking, he's like, it's custom fitted to me. He's like, I've never had a bouncer before that was so custom fitted. He said, I felt like I was getting measured for a tux when he was getting, prepared and get all the measurements and everything that Jake Pike wanted to build this for him. So he said, this is the most custom fitted, well fitted to me bouncer that he has driven yet.
Looks like we're making sure our course is clear. I see Michael, one of the cameramen for Mad Ram 11. Michael's hollering about something. I think they're trying to make sure everything's ready to go on the starting line.
While they work on that, let's take a quick look at our top 10 right now on Course 1. We've got just a handful of drivers left. Nick Reich barely in the lead with that 72.5, followed closely by Clay Kaysen running an Ethan Hunt spot there with that 72.7. And then we've got Dustin Medley, Ben Driscoll, and Clint Garrison rounding out top 5.
Yeah, Connor Flynn, Josh Krupinski with that great run he just had, Kenneth Cozine, DC Thompson, and Ethan Jones rounding out our top 10. Yeah, I'm excited to see Jay's new buggy. I said, how you feeling? He said, just a little nervous, excited to see how it goes. He said, I just want to get out and hit some stuff. He said, I'm really feeling a little frisky, so ready to get out there and have some fun with it. I think he'll do very well on this rock section. Again, we've seen a lot of problems today that I didn't expect to see.
We've got that flag fixed at the top of the course that Josh Krupinski found.
And shout out to our course workers, making sure everything's good to go.
I'm glad to see Jay back out here again. He missed 3 races, I believe, while in between buggies here, and he was kind of laughing and was like, pulling into the park yesterday. He was like, I feel like some jitters. Like, I'm excited to be back. Feels like it's been way longer than just 3 races.
I'm sure. Again, he was laughing. He's like, what's the order yesterday? I was like, what's the order again? He's like, I've been at it for a minute. All right, clock is hot. Here we go.
This is a Jake Pike built buggy. Obviously, Jay is loyal to the Ford motors. He's always got that power plant, and then that theme with all the names. I love the Fortitude name that he came up with. He's running a 7.3 Godzilla motor in it with a 3.0 Whipple supercharger, which I think we're going to be hearing singing on this hill.
Come on, Jay, get up there.
All right, you got a little bit of a bad bounce on that first line. We know that these Jake Pike buggies are tough, and we have seen them do some crazy things with various drivers behind the wheel. I know it's not going to be any different with Jay.
You can definitely hear that motor sing. Getting that 7.3 Godzilla with a Whipple supercharger on top of it. There we go.
Putting this new bouncer through its paces today. There's always some kinks and some bugs to get worked out anytime you've got a brand new build. It can take quite a while, honestly, to get those things figured out and get the little weird bugs worked out. But I know that Jake Pike is very particular with his builds. He really took his time to make sure he got things the way he wanted them to be before handing it off to Jay. And I think that we're seeing that right now as Jay is just about through the finish line. Awesome run.
Man.
Very capable new buggy. And a 130.742 for Jay Stewart's. We've got just 3 bouncers left for course 1 of the Mickey Thompson bouncer class. Speaking of Jake Pike builds, we've got Johnny Gibbs on the line now in Redemption.
Again, Johnny Gibbs is no stranger to getting out and being a wild and crazy man. And he had this built as a 2-seater because he said, hey, after the race, I want to go a little trail wheeling. And I've seen this guy out on the trails with this thing just hammering down. Again, Johnny Gibbs, I'm sure anybody who's seen him drive, I have a video of him down here last night launching out some of these hills.
I'm not surprised at all.
We were at dinner, and Nick Reich was like, hey, see this? And it was Johnny just launching out the top of some of these hills. So I was like, yeah, I think we'll be okay tomorrow. Again, at Rush this year, he was our first guy to climb course 1. We had a lot of dirt hill, had a lot of problems, and Johnny just came out and had a good time. Woohoo, baby!
Well, that's one way to get up the hill.
Yeah, and the reason he stopped because he was right at that tree.
Watch out for that flag, Johnny.
Yeah, tagging that flag, just whipping it back and forth.
Doing a little crab walk and easing back across the top of the hill here.
It looked like he might have a rear flat. It does. It looks like the driver's side rear, I think, is flat. Ooh. Nice smooth through the gauntlet. Whipping that rear steer around. See what that time's going to be. Ooh, that's a 96.953 for Mr. Johnny Gibbs.
I see Wade Good on the line now. Wade Good currently leading in points, but with only 2 points of a lead ahead of Nick Reich. And then we've got
who's
Cooper Bentley in third behind them.
Who's currently sitting in first on course one. So all right.
Wade Good had the fastest time at Pretty Place. He was on top of the box at our last event just a few weeks ago. So the time for him to beat right now is going to be that 72.5 from Nick Reich. And it's worth mentioning because Clay Kaysen is right behind Nick with that 72.7. And those guys were pushing hard. I don't know where Wade's going to find the time out here on this course, but we'll see if he can do it.
Ooh.
That was really smooth.
That was pretty quick. Again, there's still a lot of course to go, but again, that was a super quick uphill section. Ooh. Again, everybody checks up on this downhill section.
That's not one of the place where you want to just launch off the edge. You will endo, and it won't go well for you at the bottom. So that was fast. Ooh. I don't know, guys. Let's check that time.
Wow.
71.914. I don't know how he did it, but Wade Good is your new leader for course one of the bouncer class.
0.8 of a second. Squeaking out that first place. Again, 0.8 of a second. We have like a full second separating first and third right now. That's how tight the racing is.
All right, before we send our last driver, let's look at this top 5 standing right now. Wade Good managing to pull into the lead. Nick Reich following, Clay Kaysen right behind him, and then Dustin Medley and Ben Driscoll. But we've got Cooper Bentley on the line. Cooper is going to wrap up course 1. Cooper is coming into the weekend third in points overall for the season. He's got a little bit of a lead to try and work on here. Nick is 62 points ahead of Cooper. But all it takes is one DNF to change everything. And like we talked about earlier, we've still got a lot of racing to go for this season. A lot of points on the line. Even though we are winding down, we're on the back half of the season with race number 8 out of 10 right now.
All right, clock is hot. Again, that whole Bentley family is usually out here to support Cooper. His dad is one of our recovery guys up on the hill, manning a fire extinguisher. He is flying through there.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, dang it. He broke that front, I don't know if it's a knuckle or a tie rod or what, but you can see that front tire kind of just flapping up there.
You could see what he was going for, the line that he wanted, and man, there's not a huge difference between what will work and go smoothly and what will end up like that out here. Hate to see that for Cooper.
All right, we got an Amsoil action shot here. Looks like recovery, trying to get him flipped back over again. They'll get Keith down there for us. There's the Amsoil action shot. Again, came up, had a great line, and it looks like he again, right when he hit that, broke that front knuckle or tie rod, something.
Stuffed it right into the ledge there.
Yeah. And again, that could be as simple as just replacing a bolt. So that could be a very quick and easy recovery. You know, throwing a new bolt in there. Again, usually somebody has one. I know we try to carry some spare hardware because, again, you never know what you're going to break. So we try to carry an assortment of bolts. I know Keith usually has some. I've seen a couple of guys steal stuff out of Keith's rig for replacing bolts. So hopefully that's a quick and easy recovery for Cooper, and he can get it all ready for the second course.
That is Cooper on the right of your screen there in the black fire suit, so he's out of the buggy. He's good. Overseeing the recovery efforts now.
And again, a lot of DNFs. I'm very surprised at how many DNFs we had today, as well as how many guys had problems. I'm very surprised we didn't see guys kind of just shooting up this. We were playing it last night in the Honda, and I knew it would be difficult for the side-by-sides, the bounty steer guys. I knew it would have some serious issues with it, but I'm kind of surprised that the bouncers had this many issues. Again, bummer for Cooper. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back with, I believe, our amateur class.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
All right, thanks everybody. Again, appreciate UConn and all they do for us. Looks like they got Cooper flipped back over, and they're going to try to get him pulled out of the way. And why they do that, we're going to run through our top five. Top five, again, Wade Good, like 0.8 of a second faster than Nick Reich, just barely squeaking it out. Nick Reich, 1/10 of a second ahead of Ethan Hunt, which is not actually Ethan Hunt. I'm sorry, 0.2 of a second, which was Clay Kaysen. Again, stunt driver for Ethan Hunt this weekend. Dustin Medley sitting in fourth. And Ben Driscoll with a smoking time, wrapping out our top five.
Yeah, that was some great racing from all of our bouncer drivers for Course 1. Remember, we still have Course 2 coming, so we're far from over for the day for our bouncer class. We are going to come back in with our limited bouncers. We've got 2 drivers in our limited bouncer class. I believe we got a little bit of recovering still to go. They're back on all fours. That's always a good sign, but we're going to let them work on that. And then we'll come back with Justin Hoback and Dustin Carter in our limited class. And then we've still got our UTV teen class to run, as well as our youth. And then round 2 for everybody.
And that's the first half of the day.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Welcome to Hillside Live. If you just joined us recently, you missed course 1 for UTV Bounty if you weren't watching earlier, and for Bouncers. But the great news is you can always go back and rewatch that on Rock Racing TV. So we will always want to say welcome and thank you to our online audience joining us on the Rock Racing TV YouTube channel, and to our television audience watching with us on Power Sports World. We are here at HawkPride Off-Road Park in Tuscumbia, Alabama, which is not too far from Muscle Shoals. You might be more familiar with that one. And this is day 2 of racing. Yeah,
and again, a long day so far. Again, we've had a lot more recoveries and a lot more breakage than I thought we'd see so far. Again, just from last year, I feel like it was a much quicker time. Again, a lot easier line. So I don't know if the rocks' faces are a little more exposed, or maybe the run up to it was a little more gnarly, but a lot more carnage than I thought we would see so far out of the bouncer class, just because we did have a few side-by-sides that made it. So
I think last year was rainy.
Yeah.
And muddy, wasn't it?
Maybe that's why.
I think it was.
I just expected to see a lot less carnage than we've seen so far today. And again, second course I think will be very smooth. I don't see much going on with that either as well. Again, I know there's some side-by-sides down here shooting up the big hill that we'll see on course 2 for the unlimited class, and as well as the UTV Bounty. So again, we still have a ton of racing coming your guys' way, so stay tuned. We'll be here all afternoon down here in Alabama. Again, a little bit longer drive for the northern guys. I always like to whine about it until I see Nick, and Nick's like, yeah, whatever mine is, I just got to add 6 hours, you know.
Yes, Nick, right, coming from Wisconsin for all of the races. I think he definitely wins the award for furthest driving, no matter where we're going. I know the Curtises come from Kansas, so they've got a pretty far drive for a lot of the races too. Matt, you got a pretty far drive too, Matt.
I do too, and I get to whine a little bit, but Nick gets to like the actual whine. You know, again, back when Joe used to race with us, the Maine Maniac. Again, that was like a 24-hour drive for that guy.
Maine to race.
He was a beast. Again, he since sold the rig, and now he does more desert stuff. I know he has some buddies that race desert stuff, so they go out and race like the Baja 1000. It's always good to see him. I bump into him every once in a while at different events usually on the more West Coast, which is funny because he's in Maine. So it's always funny when I see him in the West Coast, but very cool. But again, speaking of Wisconsin, Crandon is next weekend. Crandon National Raceway for the big race. So Justin Wills will be up there racing. Nick will be up there doing recovery for that, for the Ultra 4 race. So a bunch of guys will be up there. I know Brandon Davis raced his side-by-side out last year, so I don't know if he'll be racing his new Ultra 4 car as well.
I don't think he's planning to go this year.
Oh, yeah?
We're getting word from Taylor.
Taylor's giving us something we need to see.
Ooh,
no. What happened? Maybe that's why he had such trouble on that first course. Again, I'm not sure what he broke, but that rear end is definitely sitting way up there. Yeah. I would say shocks just because they're fully compressed. Again, he's running the 4th version of the ORIs. Again, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but it is sitting on the ground. I know Nick Reich is a big ORI guy, so I'm sure if it's fixable, Nick will go over there, and I'm sure they'll get it fixed again. I'm not sure if it had some blew a seal and had some hydrogen leak out, or what's the deal, or nitrogen leak out. I'm not sure exactly what the issue is.
I don't even see where he's parked over there.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Again, I know he's getting all the new buggy blues, getting everything worked out, getting comfortable again.
Yep. Takes a while.
Had a little bobble there trying to get up there, but was able to get it up there.
He still had a great run.
Yeah, had a nice run. Again, I'm sure just being out and getting some seat time during a race, because he's been doing a little test and tuning at home each night. He said getting in it, he said go rep around, hit some ledges, 5, 10, 15 minutes, play a little bit each night, getting more and more comfortable with it, being able to get a little comfortable using the rear steer and wear all that's out. Because since it is a brand new buggy, everything is so used to get new to it. But.
Well, and I think it also is just he sits in it a lot differently than he has in his others. He said in his past bouncers he'd be arms out straighter, and in this one he's like right here.
Yeah.
It's just a different shape, different build for him, and how it's situated around him. And like I said earlier, that it's custom fitted for him. So that takes some getting used to as well, because, I mean, you and I, we know when you drive different vehicles, and in some of them you're out here, and in some of them you're, steering like this, and
or the
pedal
placement,
whether they're next to each other or like offset for 2-foot driving, it makes a difference, and it does definitely take time to get comfortable.
Yeah, his pedals look a little bit offset, and they feel like they're really close to the seat. I was looking at his versus like Little Tim's was right next to him. There's a couple buggies, and I was looking at his pedals and kind of wearing it. It looks like you're more of a seated position with your legs going down more than like a lot of buggies that are more out front. So.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm saying that's coolant. I think it's spraying a little too long for a shock or a fire suppression system.
Bill's got that fire aid in hand.
Not sure if he cracked a line or what the deal is. Again, you can see Kenneth Cozine calling for the wrecker.
I hear the excavator coming in now, so I think they thought that this recovery was pretty much over, but obviously where it's going to be a little more in-depth now.
You can see we got got Charles Chris up there at the front with High Octane Films, and Wade Goot, our current leader in this course one, sitting there with no shirt on, just having a good time.
Hey, those fire suits get hot.
Oh, man. I was telling my dad that. We were racing mud drags last weekend at the local county fair called the Pony Express Days. It's a very, like the world's tiniest county fair on the edge of our town, but they've had it for 44 years, and we've raced mud drags at it since it started. So it's a very fun event. We go out, and people are just like, oh, man, that's great. They all see the bouncer. Some of them bring some of their friends. Oh, this is Matt Hole. He raced the bouncer. This National Rock Racing Association. We'll talk. And they're like, can we come watch it? I'm like, yeah, the closest race is like 6.5 to 8.5 hours away. And they're like, oh, you didn't race local? I'm like, no, this is the only event we do in my home state. So
Illinois needs to step it up with their off-road race opportunities, huh?
There's a place in Southern Illinois that Point One a few years ago had a race at, but it was still like a 4-hour drive because it's in the tip of Illinois. It's basically Kentucky.
You know what would fix that, Matt?
I know.
You should just move to Middle Tennessee. But everybody else is right now, apparently. The population of Murfreesboro has grown expensially in the last couple of years.
Nick, we were talking to Clyde last night about trying to do a Wisconsin race just for Nick. We'd be like, hey, we'll have a Wisconsin race. So that way everybody else has to drive all the way to you, and then they'll be like, oh, I tried to drive like 30 minutes, guys. It was so rough. Everybody else has,
But Nick gets Crandon up there at least. It's not rock bouncing, but it's a pretty big event.
It is. It's a huge event. That's
in Wisconsin.
Yeah, next weekend there'll be it's kind of a short course event. It's like stadium trucks racing, but Ultra 4 piggybacks on top of it. So they have a huge event next weekend. They'll be parading all this stuff down. It's very, very cool for those who've never been. My dad's going with me for the first time.
I haven't been. I'd love to go see it someday.
So on Friday morning to start the event, they line every single race car up in a long line, and it's literally like a 2-mile line. They drive them from Crandon to downtown, and they back them in on both sides of the street, and they have like a 2-hour pit party where all the drivers stand next to their cars, and I mean, Pro 4 driver sitting next to a car. Right next to him will be like a little 3-year-old standing next to us side by side, handing out little stickers like hi, wearing his race suit, handing out little stickers. And it is the most cutest thing in the world. Again, there's guys that throw T-shirts out, hats, and it's like a 2-hour pit party that's an absolute blast. All the restaurants and all the events, they have food trucks. Everybody comes out. It's a great, great time.
Yeah.
Then after 2 hours, all right, clear the streets, and they clear all the streets, and they actually have a parade that goes through the middle.
Oh.
And there's a Snap-on truck throwing out 10 mil sockets. There's a huge because you're in Wisconsin. There's a huge truck throwing out string cheese.
I'm here for that.
It is. It's about an hour-long parade. It's an absolute blast. It's a great time. And then once the parade's done, everybody kind of hangs out for another half hour to an hour. Then they all parade back to the park, and that's what kicks off the festivities. Since it is a 3-day weekend, that's what kicks off the festivities for the whole weekend of racing. And it's a really, really good time. Again, that
sounds like it.
Watching those guys come into that height because it's a land rush start essentially. So they all take off that first corner. It is exciting.
I've seen the videos.
It's exciting.
It's nail biting and
it is.
exciting altogether.
It really is. Again, it's very fun. Again, I love what we do. I love rock bouncing. I love the sport of rock bouncing. But it's pretty exciting watching those guys come in that first corner, battling door to door. It's pretty cool.
At like 80 miles an hour or something, or more.
Yeah. Some of those, the fast classes, you're every bit of 80. The slower class, there's some two-wheel drive, like buggy class, a little slower. And then they also piggyback Ultra 4 on that same weekend because they have 3 or 4 events there. They also piggyback. So they'll be racing as well as Ultra 4 racing going on. Ultra 4 has a little rock garden they loop around through with some jumps and stuff. So that's what I was saying. Brandon raced his side-by-side out last year. He might also be racing his new car. I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet. But
well, apparently Cooper might be out there.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
In the Can-Am.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That'll be interesting. He will do very well. He will do very, very well
as
there.
long as he doesn't do I'm watching Cooper's buggy hanging from the excavator over here right now.
Yeah, it's never a good thing when you see when you see your buggy swinging from an excavator. It's never
That's
a good
little
sign.
demoralizing, but I think we've all experienced that at one point or another. It's part of racing.
Yeah, I've seen your guys swing for an excavator at least once.
Yeah.
Your dad sent it a little too hard. He was racing Danny Smith, who's again a full committed guy as well. You know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Looks like we're getting down there on the starting line. That Raceline starting gate, I think, is ready to go. Looks like we're going to kick off our limited rock bouncer class.
Yeah, we've got Dustin Carter on the line. Dustin is sitting second in points right now for our limited bouncer class for the season. 22 points behind Justin, but 322 points ahead of our third place.
Yeah.
Obviously, consistency is what has come into play here for our limited bouncer class and who has been able to make the most races. So it's going to be Justin and Dustin battling it out this season.
That excavator.
I think we're returning the excavator.
I heard the noise, and it sounded like somebody kind of cranking a starter after it's already going. It sounded pretty gnarly.
Unfortunately, it doesn't move across the racetrack quite as fast as the other vehicles out here.
Just creeping across there. Yeah, just going. But that's okay. We appreciate him, and again,
we do
super handy to have one of those at a rock bouncing event. You can make a lot of friends being the excavator guy. Be like, hey,
or they're all gonna hate to see you coming.
Yes, it's true.
One or the other.
That's true. That's true. It's like seeing the tow truck. You're like, oh man, stink. Things have gone terribly wrong if you're seeing the excavator coming your way.
I think he decided to fix that spot.
Okay.
Making sure he's not leaving divots from his tracks.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, very, very considerate.
It's very responsible of him. Again, we have a packed out crowd here. Everybody watching again, and appreciate everybody tuning in and also watching on the live stream on YouTube or Facebook as well as Power Sports World. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yeah, we've got spectators. We're surrounded really by spectators out here right now. Lots of great places to watch from. It is a very spectator-friendly park. That is one of the things. We talked earlier about some of the progression and changes in the sport, especially when safety requirements and measurements we were speaking of, but also just the courses and the way that we build our spectator areas into the park. It used to be we lined up in the woods next to the course to watch the racing that was happening. Obviously, not the best for safety or for viewing purposes. So in the past decade, we've come a very long way, and whether it's spectator friendly, spectator safe is a big consideration when picking the areas and building these courses. Obviously, trying to build something that is challenging but doable. For 7 different classes, racing 2 courses each, and keeping it all in the same area of the park. It's not easy, and we got to give props to Clyde, our owner-operator of this series, for doing a great job with that and bringing us consistently some fun, great courses for our drivers and keeping them on their toes too. You know, we don't run the same course twice ever. So
I was thinking Cable Hill, like everybody like at the edge looking down and be like, it's a great view, it just may not be that safe. So again, it's a lot better the things the way we're doing it now, you know, with safety. Again, having our back, we got porta potties, food trucks. It's a little better for a unique experience. But again, all right. Got Dustin Carter sitting in that Raceline starting gate, getting ready to kick off our limited bouncer class. Again, just a monster of a buggy. He has been letting this thing rip this season. There's a big divot right there. I mean, it's like a big hole coming around that corner. Coming around, I can feel the front end getting a little bit light, getting a little air time.
We've seen it take a few drivers by surprise before this year and years past.
And I didn't really expect it to be that big of a jump, but it was a lot of fun.
So our limited bouncer class, they run the same course as our unlimited bouncers, but we've got a few rules and requirements in order to make it our limited class. Some of those are that our drivers have to meet two of these three, or rather their rigs have to meet two of these three requirements. Got to have an OEM engine block, no power adders like supercharger, turbo, and a single shock per corner. So it's got to have two of those three requirements, and then also no rear steer. So this was a new class that we brought on for this 2025 season, and we'd gotten a lot of feedback and just wanted to go ahead and try and implement that, and what we came up with was the limited class.
He had a smoking run. That's an 85.786 from Mr. Dustin Carter.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that motor was singing.
So this is Justin Hoback's bouncer, but I believe we've got Cody Kaysen driving it again. I know that he's got a stunt driver that we like to call it a stunt driver just for fun when any of our drivers get have somebody else filling in for them. So if you hear us using that term, that's what we mean by that. I don't believe it's Justin in the buggy. He is helping with recovery and the youth class today.
It's even better when Justin's standing on the starting line, going 3, 2, 1 to his own buggy.
It is Cody Kaysen in there. Cody raced for Justin at our last event at Pretty Place as well, and that was Cody's first time racing a bouncer. So this is only his second time, and Cody is usually dominating our UTV stock class. He did a great job in the bouncer at Pretty Place. I heard Justin say last night, we were talking about if Cody was going to drive it for him or not, and he said, I have just as much fun standing back and watching the bouncer out there, letting somebody else drive it. He races the UTV stock class. He helps with safety checks and the starting line, and is a big part of running our youth class. It's a lot to do on a race weekend out here. When you're running multiple classes, when you've got other jobs like Matt, you doing the commentating up here, and all racing yourself. So Justin's like, you know what? I would just as soon enjoy watching Cody out there racing the bouncer.
I think he does more jobs than I do. He has about 19 jobs he does.
He's a busy guy. Shout out to the Hobacks and everything that they do for us here at the series. They're a big part of it for sure.
Yeah, runs our starting gate, runs our entire kids program, him and his wife. I mean, races the bouncer, races the side-by-side. Like, I think he does more than I think anybody. He is doing the most, as you would say. And I think it is probably kind of cool to see your buggy out there having fun.
Well, and Cody's doing a great job with it, except that he missed the Raceline ravine.
Yeah, he stopped now. He's like, wait a minute.
He's like, hold up. I missed my turn.
I think at this point he's like, hold that thought. His brother's running over like, wait, no.
He's saying, calm down, chill out, you missed a turn. So our rule here for if someone misses a turn, if they figure it out and can correct it, they go back and they do the course the right way before they cross the finish line, then it still counts. But if they've missed a turn, gone outside a banner, whatever, to where they've done the course not as it is intended to be run, and they cross the finish line, then at that point it's a DNF. So that's why you could see his Clay Kaysen out there saying, you missed your turn. Go back. Do it right, so it's not a DNF. And there it is. .137.064. That was Cody Kaysen filling in Justin Hoback's rig. Showstopper 2.0. All right, guys, that completes our limited bouncer class. Dustin had the fastest time. Dustin Carter had the fastest, because we have had a Dustin Vaughn in this class as well, and Justin Hoback. So Dustin Carter, fastest time with an 85, and then Cody Kaysen running there for Justin with a 137.
When you got a Dustin and a Justin, it's
two Dustins and a Justin.
Sounds like a book. Well, we got two Dustins and a Justin.
We are going to be moving into our UTV teen class next, teen/amateur. We've got a great lineup. These teens have been driving hard and battling it out all season. They've been doing a really great job. This was our first season having this teen class. Another one of those things where we got feedback. We had drivers that were kind of graduating or aging out of our youth class and weren't quite ready to jump in, to one of our other classes with the drivers that had been racing already for, however many seasons. And they maybe weren't quite ready for that. So we needed a little something in between. So we've got our UTV teen class was what we came up with for that. And they've been doing a really good job this season.
They have. And it's great to see that kind of like mediator class before they hop in and go race a guy like Wade Good in a stock vehicle. I mean, that can be a little intimidating just because I've seen our stock class guys get out and just, Brandon Davis, Daniel Heckley, those guys are just full send in the stock class. So having a guy or gal who's, getting ready to turn 13 going straight into that might be a little competitive. So having that intermediate class, that amateur teen class is really nice and kind of gives them a little buffer, a few years there to kind of get comfortable with the rig and having that bigger, going from a 170 that's two-wheel drive up to an 800cc or even 1,000 turbo, going up, making that big jump. It gives them a little time to get comfortable and really feel comfortable before they're out there racing some of the big dogs in the sport.
Yeah. I think we're almost done getting our course cleared here.
Making sure recovery crew's all set.
We usually need to do a little bit of a reset in between classes and maybe move around our recovery staff or maybe move a couple banners or tape or whatever it might be.
Putting tape up, a lot of times they'll do, putting tape up and tearing it down. Because when you're racing and you're bouncing around, especially with dust, it's kind of hard to see some of those flags. A lot of times they'll put some tape up and check everything out, and that way we can get everybody going in the right direction at the right time. You hate to have an awesome time and then realize, oh, wait, it's not a time because you got lost. So, which has happened before, I think, to everybody who's raced for any amount of time. Again, especially when you're racing through woods, it's kind of nice to have that tape out there.
We do have a flag on course that it needs to be reset before we continue with our teen class.
All right, we're getting a flag fixed, I guess. I don't know if it's getting. Okay, I heard Taylor say it. I want to make sure everybody knew. But again, the tape is kind of important to being a driver. I appreciate the tape. It helps, kind of like a funnel, helps keep you going in the right direction.
All guidance is appreciated on the course.
It really is, because once you get bounced around in that thing, your plan kind of goes out the window. You're just trying to hope you go in the same direction. You hope your axles don't break. Funny thing is, like, we saw a lot of weird breakage today. We saw Cooper break. We saw Little Tim break. We saw a lot of weird breakage today. Brandon Davis, we saw him roll over. Again, just kind of a weird day so far.
And I heard that Brandon's, the reason that Brandon might have pulled off was that his exhaust was crushed when he rolled over.
Oh, yeah.
So that might be why he pulled off.
When again, that would limit your horsepower. Now you're necking down the motor and making that motor work a lot harder. So it definitely could make some performance issues. So I see that absolutely being a possibility. Again, it's,
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell from just seeing it on the screen or being up here in the booth.
Yeah.
So when we get, when we get word is from back in the pits or whatever, then we try and pass that along to you guys so everyone can know what's going on.
Yeah, luckily me and Bree are both very mechanically inclined, so it's pretty easy for us from the distance to be like, okay, hey, broken axle, because we see the front right tire isn't moving, so you can kind of tell what's going on. But sometimes if a guy pulls off, you don't know if it's just he's giving up or there's some kind of weird mechanical issue. Some guys, we have fuel pumps go out before, or fuel injectors quit working. So, Jay said he was, during his test and tune video that Charles went and shot with him, he was having some, he said ran great. He said it just didn't feel quite right. He said after the video, we realized he had a spark plug wire not connected. He said it just wasn't even on. I was like, well, that's,
that'll do it.
Sometimes you have very technical issues. Other times it's just, you got to push it on. No big deal.
It's just an issue.
He said we looked under the salt, and I was like, oh. He said put it on. It ran a lot better. Because 8 cylinders works a little better. I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, there's a lot, trying to race and maintain these vehicles, and especially our drivers that run multiple classes. Or we even have some of these vehicles out here doing double duty often where, more than one driver is sharing them. Some in our youth and our stock class we've had that, and we've had drivers sharing bouncers before. And it's a lot of wear and tear, and that leads to a lot of troubleshooting and maintenance, that's for sure.
Yeah, and again, sometimes it is very, a very technical thing. You may be ohming out a sensor or something. Other times it's as simple as just putting the spark plug wire back on. So,
that's one of those fixes that you're glad for.
Yes, yeah. You're okay with that. You're like, oh, that's easy. He said they had a good giggle when they saw that. So,
all right, and that is Luke Buffkin on the line. Luke raced with us at Pretty Place a few weeks ago and did an awesome job and managed a second-place finish for our teen class. So he is back again. Glad to see him back out here. He's going to be kicking off Course 1 for the Super Grip UTV teen class. We've just about got course clear. Luke is waiting patiently on the starting line. All right, course is clear, clock is hot, and Luke Buffkin is on the course.
Again, we have a great run going here. Nice, smooth run. Again, this is our amateur class. This is anywhere from 13 to 17 years old, amateur or teen. And these teens get out there and absolutely rip it up.
So our teen class is going to be running what our stock class raced yesterday. They're going to go up the concrete wall, make that loop back around.
That concrete ledge up there is a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. It was a very good time. Me and my dad did it last night in the Honda. It was a lot of fun. This, not so much. These are some pretty big ledges here.
Yeah, it looks like he was a little unsure of his line and then just decided to send it down anyway. rough ride down Maverick, but he made it.
That is a violent ride down there.
And I think that he might have done that unnecessarily. I'm not sure they were actually supposed to come down Maverick.
Yeah.
So he did a little extra credit
Yeah.
there coming down the hard part, but unfortunately, that's not the course that they were supposed to run here for our teen class. Man, I hate to see that
Yeah.
for him. That is going to be a
That was a
DNF
rough-
for Luke. And he went for it and sent it down the hardest part of the course, but it's not the course that they're supposed to run.
I was kind of I was like, wow. I was kind of thinking, man, that was kind of crazy that Clyde sent these guys down Maverick. I mean, to be 13 years old coming down Maverick in a UTV is pretty impressive.
So they're supposed to come down the same road that they went up, the sort of like that center access road. We want to make sure that the rest of our teen class is clear on what the course is supposed to be and that they don't do the same thing what Luke did.
Yeah, that was a wild ride for a very young person. I mean, it was impressive.
It was impressive. Sadie Ellison is out on the course now.
Again, you talked earlier about that double duty. We've seen the Ellison Racing crew out here racing all kinds of swapping before in vehicles. So
Yeah, so Sadie and her brother Cohen have been sharing this vehicle this season. Cohen races in the stock class. Looks like everything stayed together for Sadie. So she could do her racing today.
I was teasing him this weekend about who races harder and who's going to win this weekend, who's going to be faster. Naturally, of course, they both said me,
Of course.
It was cute.
Sadie is third in points overall coming into the weekend, so she's been doing a great job this season, being very consistent, getting across the finish line. She had a 5th place finish at our last race at Pretty Place. The Ellison family comes out of Clanton, Alabama to race with us. They've also got Nathan Ellison in our youth class. So the three Ellison kiddos are all racing out here this weekend.
Again, seeing coming down that kind of access road there, that's where they should be returning from. And again, that was a very rough run to start off, but kind of shows where the line is at.
Sadie is through the Raceline ravine, and it's just straight on to the finish line now.
See what that time's going to be.
99.895 for Sadie Ellison in our first time here for Course 1 of the Super Grip UTV teen/amateur class. And I see Brantley Havens on the line now. Brantley, far and away our current champion in this class. He is leading by 44 points ahead of Jace Northington, who's second in points behind him right now. And Brantley has been on top of that podium all year long, doing a great job. Brantley, one of our drivers that started out in the youth class, and did a great job in that for a few seasons, and then aged out and moved on up to our teen class. We've also seen Brantley drive a bouncer at least once, and drive in the stock class a couple times as well. So he's been trying them all out.
And he did a great job in the bouncer. I think that was at Pretty Place. No.
I think he raced for Justin Hoback.
West Virginia.
Yeah, before that.
Yeah, had a nice smooth run. It was West Virginia. Had a nice smooth run and did well. Because I heard him talking a little bit at West Virginia about it, possibly doing it. And then I was saying, again, when you see Justin sitting next to the buggy, you know he's not in it. Again, this is Mr. Cowboy Hat himself. That is a nice, smooth transition there. Again, we've seen a couple of side-by-sides yesterday kind of launching out the top of there. But, again, you want to go fast up there, but not too fast. That's kind of the...
There's always a fine line.
There really is a fine line there.
Nicely done. A great run from Brantley.
Heck yeah. That's a 77.314 for Mr. Brantley Havens. Nice, great run.
Jace Northington is on the line now. Jace coming into the weekend second in points behind Brantley. He also had a third place finish at our last event. We're going to let this dust settle down just a little bit before we send Jace off the line.
Shout out to our cameraman and camera ladies out there, braving that dust today. All right, clock is hot. Again, Jace has been racing with us a while. The Northington family also doing a little racing this weekend. It's great to see their family get out, battle it back and forth. That sibling rivalry is very strong in my family as well. I'm sure it is, like yours, Bree.
Oh, yeah, it's there. It's alive and well. Yep, we'll see Jace's sister Josie racing today as well. Right now, Jace is trying to beat that 77 that Brantley just put down. Jace comes from Benton, Kentucky to race with us. This is his first year racing. He got into it after watching some friends race and figured he wanted to give that a try himself. Turns out he really likes it.
Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of people get into racing. They see someone do it and go, I can do that too. Me too, you know?
Yeah. Like, how hard can it be?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, I know what you mean. I like the cage on this buggy, too. It's very clean, very simple. See what
83.429 for Jace Northington. It's a second place time right now. We are on course 1 of our Super Grip UTV teen class. We've got just 2 drivers left. This is Maddie Darnell on the line. Maddie is coming into the weekend 4th overall in points for the season.
Starting to warm up a little bit out here. That or our breeze is dissipating. One of the two.
That's August in Alabama for you.
For real. For real. Yeah, maybe we can move that Wisconsin race to August.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Like a 65 and sunny.
Maddie Darnell is on the course.
She was down here this morning pre-running, last night doing a little practicing. And she's definitely gotten very comfortable in this rig. Her and her dad were out pre-running a little bit. I think it was last night or this morning they were down there.
She had a little tough luck early on in the season. A couple of DNFs, but, man, she's been hanging with it. Glad to see her out here. You said her dad, David Darnell, races as well.
At Rush, she was definitely had that thing dialed in.
That's a tough turn to drop down into this Raceline ravine right here. You've got to be anticipating the turn and be ready because it's real sharp and downhill turn. But Maddie handled it well with a quick reverse there.
As a wave of dust approaches us. Again, several big ledges there dropping down through. And the four-seater, they were pretty rough.
I can imagine.
And I think even the side-by-sides love this kind of gauntlet valley here that we've seen a lot of guys coming through. As they're kind of thrashing through it. It's just a lot of fun, I think.
Ooh, Maddie took a little bit of a tough bounce in there, but it's not going to stop her from crossing the finish line. .106.779 for Maddie Darnell. And that means we've got Josie Northington on the line. She is going to wrap up course 1 for our Super Grip UTV teen class. Yes, this is Jace's sister. Yes, I'm sure there is some sibling rivalry there.
I have a feeling there's a lot.
Josie first came out and raced with us in Oklahoma at Fiddler's Bend. And I think she kind of shocked everybody with the awesome job that she did. You could never tell that she hadn't already, been racing for several seasons. She laid down some really fast passes and clearly was just not afraid of the skinny pedal.
No, she was like kamikaze through the whole course.
It was pretty impressive, and she's been doing a great job since then as well.
Which I have no doubt pushed her brother even harder. But, yeah, she was like pure kamikaze that day.
She is 5th in points overall for this season. And remember, that's just coming in about halfway through the season, too. She had a 4th place finish at our last race at Pretty Place. And was she driving a 4-seater in Oklahoma?
Maybe.
Am I remembering that right?
She has a passenger there.
I can't remember. She might have been. So it wasn't this one, but maybe not a 4-seater. I wonder who her passenger is in there. Who's co-dogging for her?
They're having fun, whoever it is.
Matt's been in the passenger seat with me before during a race. That was fun.
That was so much mud. We kind of just pinballed back and forth through the whole course.
It was a real muddy race, but we were slipping and sliding, but we had a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
We heard that is Ethan Hunt in there riding with Josie right now. It looks like they're having some fun too. He's pointing out.
Yeah.
Go.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's a 78.818 from Miss Josie Northington. Again, definitely a very fun run.
And faster than her brother, Jace.
That's always good.
That's a 2nd place time right here.
And again, Ethan Hunt was in there co-driving for her. I'm sure giving us some words of encouragement as she was ripping through that gauntlet.
Well, that does conclude course 1. Our rundown is Brantley Havens had the fastest time with a 77, and then Josie with a 78, an awesome run. Then Jace Northington with an 83. Then we have Sadie Ellison with a 99 and Maddie Darnell with a 106. So well done to our teen class on course 1. All right, Taylor. All right,
Okay.
so here's your update. In about 15 minutes, we will be back up with a new feed for our UTV youth class. If you're joining us on Rock Racing TV on YouTube, if you're joining us on Power Sports World on the television side, we will not be live for the youth class, so that means we'll be back in maybe 45 minutes on Power Sports World after we've concluded that class. So wherever you're watching from, we'll see you in a little bit. Don't go too far.